Hey friends, welcome to another video. Actually, Winful Brandon here. If you're the person who struggles to make decisions in their life, then this is the right video for you. So make sure you watch the video right up to end because I'll be talking about 8 techniques we can actually use to make better decisions in our life. Talking about better decisions, consider subscribing to the channel because that might be a better decision for you today. So without talking so much, let's jump right straight into the video. Technique number 1 is try not to overthink. I know every decision we make today comes with some level of thinking because we always try to weigh the advantages and the disadvantages of the decision and other options available. But at the same time, we need to be able to come to a conclusion without spending so much time trying to evaluate everything. Because the more time we spend overthinking on the decision, we are more likely to bring self-doubt into the decision-making process. And this will not only affect your conclusion in the present decision, but might also become a pattern that will affect your decisions in the future. If you have a hard time making decisions and you tend to think so much about it, then sometimes it's always good to step away for a while and try to do something different that will distract yourself from those thoughts. And you can always return back to them when your mind feels more calm. You might also want to watch a video here where I talked about how I stop myself from overthinking. Technique number 2 is think of the consequences of that decision both in long and short term. Because every decision you make today have a long and a short term consequences. And what you think might be a perfect decision today might not be the wonderful decision in the long term. So the tip here is if you're always faced with two decisions and one of those decisions might have a lot of advantages at the moment but fewer advantages in the future, and the other decision have a fewer advantages in the moment but a lot of advantage in the future, always try to go with the one with more advantages in the future. For instance, when I got into the United States, I had two choices: either to continue as a mechanic where we paid a good sum of money, or go to school and learn a new skill. Even though it was difficult to make a decision, I still chose to go to school because, trust me, working as a field mechanic is great, but what happens to the future when you start having a family? You realize you will spend a lot of your days in the week going to work and you will not really have that much time for your kids. But as an IT professional, in the future, you could have remote jobs where you'll be able to work at home and still have a lot of time for your family and your kids. Third technique is to control your emotions because emotions is a very critical part of decision making. So always make sure you're acting or thinking with a lot of emotional intelligence because acting with a lot of emotions could easily cloud your judgment, which will affect the decisions you are taking. And it could cause you to take some decisions in which you wouldn't have taken if you were thinking more rationally. Remember, this applies to both positive and negative emotions. It is not good to always rush into a conclusion when you feel so excited about something, and this also applies when you feel so sad or so angry about something. For instance, 99% of the time when I feel so excited about something and I get into a conclusion, it turns out to be a mess, especially when investments are concerned. I feel so excited about the financial promises you will get in return in this business to an extent where I fail to think about the things that needs to be done before getting this income flowing. The fourth technique is to make sure you gather the right information before making a decision. And some of the places where you could get this information could be online. You could find information in books. You could find the information in people who have been in the same situation you find yourself in. The right information is so important because you are more likely to take the wrong decision if you don't have the right information. Again, talking about the decision I made out of excitement and invest in a business, it turned out to be the wrong decision because I did not really do my homework before investing in the business. It was when I invested in the business already before, I started looking for where to get information to promote this business. And I realized some of this information were so difficult to lay hands on, but it was already too late for me because I already made a bad decision. The fifth technique is to always compare your decisions with your goal because every consequence we are facing today is as a result of a decision you made some years back. If you know where you want to be 1 year or 2 years from now, it's going to be very easy for you to take decisions that will align to your goal towards becoming that person. But if you don't have an idea, if you don't have a vision of the kind of person you want to become in the future, it's going to be more difficult for you to make decisions because you will not know which decision will take you closer to your goal and which decision is going to take you away from your goal and turn it out to be a bad decision. That's why it's always very important to always take out some time to write down your goals and make sure every decision you are making in life is taking you a step closer towards achieving those goals. Sixth technique is try to remove yourself from the situation and try to see things in another perspective from another person's view, especially when family is concerned. Always try to put your side on the opposite side of the coin and ask yourself, what if I was in the opposite side and someone makes same decision? Is that going to make me happy? For instance, let's say you are faced with a situation at work where you have to choose who to promote between maybe your brother or another worker. You are more likely to choose your brother, even if the other worker is qualified, because your brother is family and we always have this special bonding with our family. But taking yourself out of the situation and putting yourself in another person's shoe might really help you make the right decision. The seventh technique is to always evaluate yourself and see the consequences you will get from making that decision compared to the consequences that will come to you as a result of not taking that decision. Let's take for instance, if I start my YouTube channel this day, 1 year from now, I might have 1,000 subscribers. I will be more experienced in making videos and I will be happy, which will improve the chances of my growth. But if I don't start the YouTube channel now, 1 year from now, I will not have any subscribers. I will not have any experience and I will even be filled with regret. So as far as this is concerned, there's this quote I always try to guide myself with. It says, the best time to plant a tree was 5 years ago. The second best time to plant that tree is now. Finally, it's always good to have an alternative route or a backup plan because we are all humans, we are not perfect. There will be time in life, no matter how focused we are, we will always make some few wrong decisions. It is always good to have a plan to fall back to in case things don't go right. Above all, always make sure you pray to God for guidance. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, be a hero by sharing the video to help someone learn something new today. God bless you.